Hey guys, it's Viewmaster's Reactions and we're back with another Vox Machina comparison video. The dude put this together for me. He gave me a bunch of timestamps, said this was a video dealing with the Sphinx. I looked everywhere and couldn't find a cool image of the Sphinx from the show. So I got this, which looked very similar in my opinion. This is fan art of the Southern Oracle from the Neverending Story that I've compared it to. Tell me it doesn't give you those feels. I mean, this is a way more elaborate look and more beautiful. I see a little person down there. I don't know if you remember. In the Neverending Story, you cross the Southern Oracle and those beams shoot you and destroy you. And that's what it looked like when he was shooting in the show. So that was pretty cool too. But the dude gave me a bunch of timestamps, said, watch these parts. There's no spoilers. What I did was I went and just muted it and took those timestamps and pieced it all together in one nice flowing video right here. So after I watch this, I'm going to post just this video by itself in full because I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be pretty interesting. It looked like about 6 minutes long in total. So after we watch it, I'll post it. The dude gave me a little bit of information dealing with it, was saying something to the effect of, maybe I'll just go read it. So this is what the dude said. Some additional background information before you watch the challenge issued by the Sphinx is to discover his name. There are portals around his lair that each member has to go through and find a portion of his name. They also need a way to get out of the portal because they are just floating in a void. They need to do all of this while battling the Sphinx, who, while sure he can be harmed, is still an extremely powerful creature. All right. So they're portaling around. That sounds like a game I played or something. I feel like there was some game or some other movie or show where they were fighting something while going through portals. Either way, that is the story. So slightly different. I also did read a lot of your comments, and I think I said it in another video, how everyone's saying that it is left the normal campaign route. It is diverged into a different direction. People were saying they're very curious to see what happens in the next 3 because based on some of the things that happened differently, anything can happen now. So I don't know how many more comparison videos we're going to be doing after this. I'm sure they'll still go back to the campaign for a lot of it. I mean, when we go in towns and this and that. But depending on how much is changed, it could go off on a totally different direction. And they might even want it to, just so you got like a different version, a different story, and people that followed the campaign so closely don't know everything that's going on. Either way, it would be different for me because I've never seen Campaign 1. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. If the link doesn't work, it's in the description below. The Patreon hour exclusive of every episode of Campaign 2 we do every week. Live streams on Friday. Vox Machina on Thursdays. It starts at 7 p.m., so I usually have them on Patreon all up by 9 usually. But season 1 and 2 are up in full. Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, The Legend of Korra, Death Note comes out today. Check it out. If not, Legend of Vox Machina Sphinx comparison video.
Hello.
Hello, Sam. How are you, sir?
Osisa sent us.
Look at his face.
It mounts itself there.
Good job.
Kind of turns so it's facing both you and the rest of you as you all approach. You seek power, glory, retribution.
What was his name? Kamal
I know
Giari?
your quarry,
Something like that.
and I know your goal. She has told me. I can show you.
I feel like that got like right to the
All
point.
great knowledge should not be given. You must be proven.
See, I feel like in the animated show,
It must be earned.
there was less aggressiveness here.
It must be earned. And as his voice roars, the room echoes, and you can see
get
wind
it,
begin
buddy.
to whip all
Don't
around
have
you,
to
glancing over your shoulder.
Scream in our faces.
You guys can see now the empty pit in the center of the hall behind you is now whipping it into a whirlwind. I'm going to see like a
Laura.
small centralized cyclone that's now rising up, meeting the ceiling, staying stationary.
I'm trying to
in place,
remember how it happened in the animation.
arcing there. The braziers flame up even brighter now.
See, I don't think any of this kind of stuff happened. Didn't it just... Well, actually, no. We went to like another plane of existence.
See now, the Sphinx is baring its gleaming white teeth there at the top.
What is my name?
All right, so there's the dude's
Oh my god!
So you run up and
one of the jumps. These time jumps.
2 heavy swings, you know, after going into a rage to resist the fear effect. You kind of just grin and bear it, go over and swing twice, hacking into the side of it. Its hide is very strong, and there's almost like this weird resistance just in the outside of its body, like its very force of existence and personality is keeping the blade from doing as much damage as it should, but you still strike true, slamming into it twice. You pull the strength from it. As you do, a voice in your head goes, yes. At this point, as you look at the blade now begins to emanate a shadow aura stronger than previously that begins to also form around your upper shoulders, just drifting. The blade suddenly extends another foot. The edges of it that were smooth project with a jagged, thorny outside. The blade
that did not happen in the show.
Longer,
unless I missed
thicker,
it.
and far more dangerous looking than it was before. Until your next short rest,
I don't
all
recall.
attacks with the sword do an additional 2d6 necrotic damage.
Oh.
Super Saiyan motherfucker. 2d6 necrotic damage?
2d6 necrotic damage. And she was doing a Super Saiyan.
You cannot say to anyone what you found yet. You, having no tether, are just drifting away from the portal.
I wonder if his sword was growing while he was fighting the dragon.
What are you going to do?
Can I grab my earring and say what I see?
You grab your earring, you say it, there's no response. You guys hear nothing.
He's gone.
You're about 15 feet away from it now.
Can I take my chain of returning and attach it to Craven Edge and throw it through the doorway that I see?
You can. Go ahead and roll. Roll for an attack.
Oh my god.
Should have had a breakfast.
Should have had a breakfast.
23.
23. You fling it through, and it catches something. You feel it. It's taut. You start pulling your way in, pulling your way in, pulling your way in. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's Pike. It's Pike.
Oh.
God. Oh, that's how.
It's gotta be Pike.
Damage. Oh, damage. Sorry, damage. I rolled the wrong.
Oh, this is how it happened.
9.
Next week's episode.
So 14.
This is so uncomfortable.
Yep.
Plus the 2d6 necrotic. Oh, so that's how it went down.
30.
30 points of damage. Okay. You pull the chain and you
I didn't realize
your hands out, pull through. And as you do, the chain in your hand, you look and you can see now grasping onto the edge of the wall. You see Pike, sweat dripping down her face as Craven Edge has embedded itself into her abdomen. She's holding it, and she just looks at you with a gritted face, and she goes, "It's okay, Grog.
I'm gonna
You're
cry.
back. That's all that matters."
Oh my god, that's way...
You're
so lucky he didn't do the voice.
Can I run to Pike? That's my turn.
The Myth Carver.
You're so lucky he didn't do
long
the
sword.
voice.
This incredible silvered blade once belonged to the White Duke himself, and many more master bards before him. It resonates with nearby musical tones. It acts as a +3 longsword, and the weapon deals an additional 1d6 force damage upon a hit. Whenever you use your Bardic Inspiration feature, you gain advantage on attacks with this weapon until the end of your turn.
Advantage on attack?
So if you were to give somebody, use your bonus action before your attack, you would get advantage on any attacks with the weapon.
Percy, that was made for you.
I know, obviously.
Whenever you use the Cutting Words feature against an enemy, the target also has disadvantage on their next saving throw.
Wow.
Holy.
Well, I guess I'll have to take it.
All right, guys, so there we go. I did not expect the Pike. I was going to say death, but she didn't die, according to this, but this is way different. Now I see what people are talking about. Just this one interaction with the Sphinx, way different than the animation from when I remember. First off, when we walked in, the Sphinx did immediately rush us, but as soon as we mentioned Osase's name, it seemed to be pretty chill, and then was like, yo, if you want to know this stuff, you got to do the challenge. It wasn't very pushy or pressuring. The Sphinx was pretty chill, and also told us his name. I believe, I'm sorry, I'm horrible at pronunciations, but I feel like it was Kamal Giari or something like that. I'm not looking at it anywhere right now. I feel like that's just from the memory. It's something close to that if I'm wrong. But he seemed pretty chill until we were like, yo, no, we want to know this stuff. And then we had to battle him. And he didn't even make us battle him. We had to choose one of 3 challenges. We could have fight, I think it was 70 Gorgons, or there was another one. I can't remember what the second one was off the top of my head either. But either way, there was like a choice, and he seemed pretty chill, even once we had a fight, friendships aside, and he was doing his thing. And then Scanlan played a little lullaby, and we serenaded him, and he was good. In this, Grog got consumed by Craven Edge when he was fighting the dragon, not when he was fighting the Sphinx. Then he got all raged out, and he accidentally thrusted through Pike and lifted her in the air, but he was like front and center. There was no chain. There was no like illusion and throwing it with the chain into what he thought was the door to pull his way back, and then it ends up being Pike. I mean, all that was very different. Even the sword growing. Craven Edge was growing like way bigger, and it was like feeding off the blood and obviously everything. Or did it grow? See, now I don't know. Now I have to go back and watch, because it's certain things I'm not really knowing it's going to happen, so I wasn't specifically looking for that. Maybe it did slightly grow. I was so consumed by the fact that Pike looked like she was dying. I don't know how it's going to be handled in the show. I'm assuming Pike isn't going to die. But in this, it didn't seem like she did. She was even talking to Grog like, don't worry, buddy. Like, I'll be okay. It's good that we got you back. So she was talking like we're good, but like, I mean, what does that mean? Maybe she's still dying and she doesn't realize how severe it is. There is a sword, an evil sword that sucks the blood out of people inside of her. Granted, he pulled it back out in the show. I don't know exactly how it was handled here because we cut it off right after that. The dude said he put the timestamps in places where it wouldn't spoil anything. And honestly, that was pretty damn cool. I wasn't expecting the Pike thing because I had assumed we would have seen that when Grog was fighting the dragon in a comparison video, not in the Sphinx video. I wasn't expecting the Sphinx to be so aggressive. I was like, oh, this Sphinx dude's pretty laid back and chill. Like, we only went at him and asked for the knowledge, so that's why he had to do what he did. And in the end, we were all buddies, and then the dragon comes and kills him. In this, it's handled totally differently. So the dragon never comes. I know I probably pronounced his name wrong too, but Umbrasil? I know it's something like that. I saw something in a comment, whether I was saying it right or wrong, and I think I'm saying it wrong. One of my favorite, if not favorite, dragons. He had nothing to even do with this as far as I know, because that was it. I didn't see no dragon breaking through, and it looks like Pike's alive. I didn't see them portal out, but then again, it did cut off there. We learn about the Myth Slayer some more. The reason Scanlan has it is because it's more for a bard. What was it? Like something happens when you use bardic inspiration or something like that. But it was explaining all about that, the vestige, the sword. It also wasn't taken then. I just realized, unless the dragon comes in immediately after that, which is possible, I feel like they handled it totally differently. So now they have the vestige, the sword, the Myth Slayer, and the dragon didn't take it. That totally changes things up too. I'm very curious to see where it goes from here. And like I said, I don't know how many more comparison videos we'll be able to have depending on how differently the story goes from here. So either way, we'll find other things to watch, I'm sure, but I'm sure there'll be comparison videos. There's no way they're going to go that far off the script. There's a campaign to honor. So you guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. If the link doesn't work, it's in the description below. Season 1 and 2 of Legend of Vox Machina up in full, as far ahead as humanly possible. The Patreon hour exclusive, every episode of Campaign 2. This video will be going up in full on the channel, just in case you feel like watching it on your own. Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, The Legend of Korra, Death Note's out tonight, as well as The Last of Us. Check it out. Patreon link, everything's unedited in full. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!